Hey everybody, it's Keith with the L1 Automotive Training Channel, and you don't recognize me because I forgot my sunglasses. Okay. Hey, there we go. Sorry about that. I was doing some class stuff earlier and left the glasses off. So today we have a GM E39, which looks like it's been on fire. I don't know. It's pretty gnarly nasty everywhere. So like promised, we're going to use the DC706. I went ahead and got it team viewed into here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to clone this module. So this module was sent in with a note. And he writes, John, regarding our conversation this morning, John's up front. This ECM's from a 2007 GMC Denali VIN number 17 digits. With an O-scope installed on the fuel injectors, when the vehicle is running properly, I get a good pulse to the injectors, but when the vehicle quits running, the control wire to the injectors has a solid ground going to it. The vehicle has good fuel pressure and spark when the engine dies. The next morning, the vehicle runs fine for a mile or more before the motor dies again. Maybe something with the injector drivers, ? Hope this helps. Give me a call if you need more info. So, we talked to Andy Wrights and said, hey, we don't do intermittent drivability diagnosis on the bench with modules that we haven't seen in the car, especially one that's only sometimes and whatever. I said I don't think it's the engine control module, but we have an E38 in stock if you'd like us to clone it, and you could eliminate that during your diagnosis, and it would be X dollars. The individual said, let's go for it. I'm pretty confident, so here we are. And as promised, I'm going to use the OBDSTAR DC706. Link in the description for the place where you can get it. I will say big shout out to Auto Rescue Tools for shipping one over as quickly as possible so we could give this thing a shot and see what's going on. So please give them some love in the comments and buy some tools from them. Now, this is what we got. So, I guess so you can see what's going on here. I got my Go Diag box on the bench. For most GM modules, I have a pre-made cable for them, but I will show you in the tool where there's instructions on how to set this up. With this particular configuration, I don't believe I need the P003 adapter, but there is a P003 bench boot adapter that comes with the tool. Honestly, I'd have to just go read in the instructions if this particular example or particular module requires it or not, so I'll set it right there if we do. Isaac also sends over the P004 adapter and all the connections for it, and then this Go Diag bench cable as well. It's OBD2 with ignition switches and power input and all that. So all of these, any of these will probably work for this, I'd assume. I don't know. So let's go through this process and see if this works. This is actually literally my first time using the DC706. You boot the tool up. I just did all the updates. I went to update and made sure it's all updated. All right, so no software upgrade can be done. I've done all the updates. It's all up to date. Again, I'm just setting you guys up in case this is a fluke. So we'll go to ECU Flasher for ECM car. I have navigated around this a little bit. I kind of got an idea around it, but I literally have not hooked up to a car. Clicked anywhere in the orange spot. I know that I can go to brand, and we're going to go to Chevrolet. So funny thing, I'm not sure why it does this, but I went to GM first, and there's only some modules in there. But if you go to Chevrolet, most of the others are in there. And we're dealing with an E38. You'll see over to the right-hand side here, which you can see my mouse, there's just a connector. That means that's bench. If you see the MCU logo, that means it's a boot module, so you're going to have to open it up and connect to it or something, I assume. That's how most softwares are set up. I could also do this with Flex or with Hexprog, do it with any of them, but I figured I'd drop this OBDSTAR video since people have been asking about it. So we can go to Guide, and there's supposed to be some info in here. Yeah, it tells you what each button does. Read in EEPROM and flash, write internal EEPROM and flash, and write part. Oh, so that's kind of like sum and all. All right, so then, too far. Operation instructions. I'll just use my finger. The mouse doesn't work well. P004 schematic. I am not using the P004. Does the the PW04's got the 120 ohm on off. Got it. Let's see. Then follow the prompts. Must connect according to the wiring method in the pinout. Strictly follow the equipment prompts. It does say that E80, E83, and E39 types of ECUs require online programming afterwards. That's pretty common, even with all the other tools we use. Also, IO terminal is what I would typically use for this. It's probably faster, but this is cool because it's got a screen on it, and everyone loves new tools. So then we'll go to pinout. There's a picture of the module. Image 2 has a picture of the pinout. That is probably exactly how my E38 is wired up on the bench on the black connector. So we'll go back. We will click Start. Connecting to the server. Okay, I'm already on the internet, so it's going to connect to the server. So first thing I'm going to do is click ECU info and see if it will pull data from it. We also want to take a picture of this. ECU not recognized. So it would help if I turn on the tool and we get some blinky lights on can high and low. Press OK, press ECU info again. Hey, now we got a loading bar. Okay, cool. So now you guys see that we have a VIN in this module and some data. All the calibration IDs. Seed key data, programming date, 08/29/2006. Press OK. All right, we'll go connect, which is going to put the module into boot mode. So we're going to make sure anytime we're done with this, before we disconnect the module, we're going to hit disconnect so we get it out of boot mode. ECU not responding. Connect. Try that again. Maybe we need the PW03 or the PW04. Okay, so I'm going to power cycle this. Maybe after reading the ECU data, I power cycled it and the can high, can low lights came back on. So we'll try that again. See, that looks like it's connecting. It's taking a longer time. It's loading data. I'm still seeing communication lights on the go diag. Okay, so there's a little hinkiness there, but it looks like it connected. You can continue to perform corresponding read-write operations. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and read the internal EEPROM. 38. I really would like to save this as something. You guys know me. If you stuck around for any period of time, you know that I like to put labels. Internal OG. Click OK. Okay. Then we're going to read the internal flash. This should take significantly longer. So while this is loading, I will pause you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you shortly. All right, she's all done. It's been 3 minutes. Couldn't sit still that long. Apologize about that. There's a lot of words. All right. Come on now. OG. Click OK. So it saved that. We'll click OK. So now we have the internal EEPROM and the internal flash saved. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and unhook this, and we're going to disconnect. We're going to hit disconnect first. So just so you guys don't forget, hit disconnect whenever you're done. So make sure all read and write operations have been completed and the data written is complete. Otherwise, disconnection can create irreversible risk. Yes. All right, so it is disconnected. If we look back, I don't know if you guys and gals can see that, but gotten flashy lights on 6 and 14, so she's talking again. We can power cycle her down. Looks like we don't need the PW03 adapter. And then we'll disconnect. This is why I make connectors for these, because I do a lot of GMs. So we'll take our donor module that we are selling them. We'll hook this up. Now, I'm not going to pull a donor on this because I pulled this off the shelf, so I actually know what's inside of it already. I get all of them, talk to them, write to all of them, and put data in them all first, and I have the OG saved to my PC. So this is going to be very different than how I normally do it. I would recommend that you 100%, anytime you're going to hook up to one, you pull the data out, even if it's the donor module. I'm not concerned about the donor module in this one. I know this one's mine. I have this data saved. It's in here because I put it in here. This is one off my shelf. See? It's got our logo on it and a serial tag. Nope, not all of them have that, but this one particularly does. So we will power this one on. We can see we have blinky lights, so this one does talk. This is one that we had a donor car at the time and went through this module. That's why it's got a sticker on it and everything. That means this is good. I have confirmed this doesn't have DTCs. Runs and drives the car, no problem. Heat cycles and everything. So now we're going to go back and hit connect. We should connect to this one. It says ECU not responding again. So let's see if it'll do ECU info on this one. I wonder if this is a hinky thing with DC706 where you've got to just power cycle it. Because I just power cycled it and then hit connect again. Communicating. Yeah, see, this is okay. So this one's got a date of 2023-07-21. You can see that's something like I programmed this to the latest calibration and have it as this one VIN. So, all right, and if you notice, we're back to talking again. So we're good to go ahead and hit connect, and hopefully it'll connect this time. There we go. Still communicating. Yeah, that's something hinky. I guess on the 706, sometimes it just kind of puts her into a weird mode. I don't know. Okay, so we're connected. So I'm going to go ahead and read the internal EEPROM. I don't need to do this. Cancel. I'm going to write the internal EEPROM. So I'm going to load from the hex editor. Okay. It says the file is incorrect. Well, that was because that was the flash. So does it only have... Okay, so this is the last thing I read. So this is the flash that's in here, over here on this hex editor at the top. See, I've never used this. I apologize. So see, this is OG, and this is the flash. You can see internal flash OG. Okay. Function. So we're going to go ahead and just write the internal flash first because that's what's in the hex editor. So in the hex editor. Okay. So it's going to erase the internal flash and then write the internal flash from the OG file. You can see it's... Okay, so now it's writing. This is the big file. This is going to take a minute. So I will see you guys and gals here shortly, and then we will reconvene, go to the hex editor, load the internal EEPROM, and then write the internal EEPROM. So hang tight. All right, I got distracted up front. So we're going to go hex editor. We're going to go load the EEPROM OG file. I don't think we're going to click save because that's saved to another file. Yeah. We'll go back to function. We'll go to write the internal EEPROM from the hex editor. Heck yeah. Okay, so that's successfully written. So now we're going to click disconnect. Yes, I'm done writing. Now when I did that, the lights came back and started flashing because now it's out of boot mode. So we're going to go ahead and power it down, which is fine because we disconnected first, and we're going to wait like 20 seconds. And what we're going to do after we're done is we're going to go to ECU info that's right there. So, and you want to do this because the memory that we just wrote to non-volatile memory. Then when we power cycle the module, after we got it out of boot mode, we went ahead and turned it off, and then we want to keep line memory back. So that way everything from non-volatile memory can write to the actual internal flash. Now, the EEPROM on this one is emulated, so it's not an actual EEPROM chip externally on the board. At least I don't think it is on the E38. I think it's all on the AM29 chip. So, all right, here we are. So we're back there. We're going to key it back, so you can see we're going to key it back on. It starts talking. That's good news. That means that at least it's not a doorstop. Go back here. We'll go read ECU info. And I didn't remember what the, 9809. That is the VIN from the sheet. Let me look here. Yep, 9809 is the last four on the donor, or not donor, but the original. If we go down and look, we'll look that even the programming date is the same. So everything kind of cloned over on this one. It's an E38, it's a full clone. So this one is a complete clone. I'm going to package this back up and ship it back to the customer. And then hopefully we get an email back or a phone call letting us know, hey, he was right. Hopefully this customer was right, and this fixes the vehicle. If not, at least he'll know it's not the powertrain control module. Now, that's not my preferred method of diagnosis, but here we are. And now you guys can see with the DC706, it can be done. E38's no problem. Quick, easy to the point. Probably could have done this entire job in like 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but with some instruction there, it didn't take me very long at all. I think I started this thing 20 minutes ago, and I got caught halfway through the writing the internal flash. So, all right, we'll see you guys next time. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and write down in the comments any other kind of stuff or tools you want me to use, because that's where I got some of these ideas. And we'll see you guys next time.